Hello and welcome. Today is going to be a pretty quick video. I think I wanted to show you what I bought in the recent Sephora VIB sale and at the same time just share kind of mini reviews on some of these items and also let you know some of the products that I'm going to be showing you in the coming weeks on my channel. So I wanted to start first with the Armani Lip Power Lipstick. So I got one shade of this in the shade 102, which I think is the lightest shade. I think this one is described as a light pinky mauve nude, something along those lines. Some of those words are in there anyway, but I'm really happy with this shade. I'm not going to lip swatch it today, but I will use it in an upcoming video. I think it's a really nice shade because it is very pale, so it's about as pale a shade as I can go without pairing it with a lip liner. It gives that really nice pale nude lip look, but not in a way that is really too difficult to wear. For me, this tone is really good because I can see a little bit of warmth, a little bit of peachiness, but it does have that mauve quality to it as well. So it's a really nicely balanced and nuanced tone, and I like the way it looks on my lips. So I'll be showing that in an upcoming video. The formula is really nice as well. I haven't formed my full thoughts on it, but when I do actually use this on my lips in a video, I'll be able to just share a little bit more about my full thoughts on that formula, but so far really happy with it, and I love that color 102 that I got. The next lip product that I got was this Gucci lipstick in the shade Lorna Dune. Now I bought this fully because of Khaki on Khaki Reviews Beauty. She reviewed this recently and it's one of her favorite lip colors, and this is actually something that I'm going to be returning. It's just too cool toned. It's quite a bit too gray for me. It's just not a color that looks good on me, and I could probably make it work if I tried really hard using different liners and kind of adjusting the shade a bit, but it's just not a good shade for me, so I'm going to be returning that one. But just so you can see what it looks like, there it is, and you can even see it's a similar lightness to the Armani one that I showed you, but it's a lot more muted and kind of brownish gray. And unfortunately, it's just not really a shade that's gonna work for me. So that one I'm gonna be returning, but I wanted to share that with you in case you were interested in that shade at all, and you have like the exact same skin tone as I do. The next thing that I'm really enjoying is the Saie bronzer. This is called the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I got it in the lightest shade, which is light bronze. And this is what the shade looks like. I'm actually wearing this bronzer today. It's kind of hard to tell what it looks like on its own because I've got blush and highlighter on as well, but I actually quite like this shade. I would prefer something a little bit lighter, I think, and maybe slightly less warm, but for me, this shade actually works pretty well. And I think part of the reason for that is that I have kind of been gradually discovering I do have a bit of warmth to my skin. Actually, I'm not as cool toned as I previously always thought I was. I have a little bit more of that yellow quality to my skin and a little bit of peachiness as well, which I think all works nicely with the color of this bronzer. To me, it doesn't show up orange on me at all. It looks like a really nice kind of toasty warm color, but doesn't pull orange, and it gives a nice shadow. I think actually the best thing about this is the formula. It's very, very lightweight. It almost has a kind of cream to powder effect when you apply it to the skin, and it can apply very sheerly. So it's not going to overwhelm the face. It's going to build really nicely. And for someone with fair skin, I think that's really important in a bronzer. I actually also picked up their bronzing brush as well, and this works really nicely with the cream bronzer. I don't think it's necessary. Like if you have another brush that you love to use for cream bronzer and blush, then I don't think you need this. My favorite brush for cream bronzer and blush is the Classic Base, I think it's called, from Sonia G, and I think that works just as well as this one, but this one is nice. It's quite big, it's got a good density to it, but still a nice flow. It's 100% synthetic fibers, so that makes it great for cream and liquid products, and it's nice because you can kind of cover a big area. So even if you wanted to perhaps blend your bronzer down onto your neck and chest, this would make it really easy, but it also has the ability to give you a little bit more precision depending on, you know, what angle you're using it on and also how much product you're putting on it. But I do think it picks up the bronzer really nicely and diffuses it and blends it really beautifully. So I'll make sure to use these in conjunction with one another on an upcoming video so you can really see how they work together and how that bronzer looks. The next thing I have here is this Korres Petal Soft Cream Exfoliator. So this is something that I kind of use as a mask in the shower for my face. The directions don't tell you to leave it on for any amount of time. It basically kind of directs you to use it as just like a facial scrub and then rinse it off immediately. But I actually like to let it sit on my face for a few minutes. I just apply it to my clean skin. It has little beads in it, but it also has chemical exfoliants. So I've really been enjoying this. I find when I use it, it makes my skin really smooth and I haven't had any issues with breaking out from it. And for what it is, I think it's quite affordable, especially for something you get at Sephora. There are 150 milliliters in this, and it's quite reasonably priced as well. So if you've been looking for something that is going to give you kind of a gentle exfoliation, both chemical and physical at the same time, I would really recommend this. I think this is a great product. It does have fragrance to me. It's not really offensive. It's not something I would want to be smelling all day, but you really only smell it while it's on your face. Kind of a light floral clean type of scent. Now another Saie product that I picked up, this is their blush, their Dew Blush Liquid Cheek Flush. I got it in the shade Peachy because that just looked like the most appealing shade to me, and I've seen some videos on these blushes and the formula looked really pretty. It's a really nice dewy blush that seems really easy to work with. But when I saw this shade, I did try it, but I knew kind of immediately that it wasn't going to be a shade that I would really like. And when I blended it out on my face, that just really confirmed that thought. It's a little bit too orangey brown for me. I do like brown blushes, but I like them to be more kind of like a pinky brown. This to me has too much orange in it, and when I blend it out, even on my hand, you can see it looks pretty orange there, but especially when I put it on my face, it just pulls kind of this unnatural warm orange color that is just really not flattering to me. So I'm going to be returning that, unfortunately, and I don't think there are any other shades of this that are really calling me. All of them are deeper than this, and I prefer to have kind of lighter toned blushes if I can, just because that makes it more versatile for me, a little bit easier for me to make sure that I'm not going to go overboard with the color on my pale skin. So I will be returning that, but I'll keep an eye on the line because I'm still interested in the formula, and maybe if they come out with a color that would suit me better, I would try that. The next thing I got was just a restock of my Belief moisturizer. This is the True Cream Moisturizing Balm. So I got that. I'm almost finished my first tub of that, and I've been really enjoying it. It works great for both day and night, so I love that cream. And then another restock was the Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. I don't use this every time I remove my makeup, but if I have a heavier makeup on, if I've done kind of a full-on look, I definitely like to use this, and it's good for removing sunscreen as well. And the last thing that I wanted to show you was this fresh perfume. This is another one I'm actually going to be returning. It's the Sugar Lychee perfume. It's not a terrible scent to me, but there is a note that I don't like in it, and I just know that I would never wear this because of that. It does have a fruity scent, but there's also, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a soapy type of fragrance, or maybe a little bit too much of a floral note in it that doesn't appeal to me. So although it's not terrible, it wouldn't give me a migraine, I don't think. It's just not a scent that appeals to me enough to actually want to wear it. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to return that as well. But that was everything I had to show to you today. I do still have one order on the way, which I'm pretty excited about actually. It has one of the new One Size bronzers. I've never tried anything from that brand before. It just hasn't really caught my attention that much, but they've brought out these new bronzer palettes with 3 shades of bronzer in each one, and the range itself has 5 different palettes, and one of them is fair, which is quite unique in a bronzer. Usually you get a fair / light or just a light, and then usually like 3 other shades in a standard, like pretty good range of bronzers. But since this one had one that was specifically for fair skin, I thought it would be really interesting to try it and see if it really is appropriate for fair skin. And the other interesting thing about it is that the 3 shades in the palette are basically, they look to be about the same depth but with different undertones. So you've got a cool undertone, a neutral undertone, and a warm undertone, all in the same palette. So I'm quite excited to try that out. That's on its way. And then the other thing in that order is an eye cream. And actually I decided to buy it because I was able to try a little sample of the eye cream. It's the Sunday Riley Auto Correct eye cream. It's the brightening and depuffing eye contour cream. This is quite an expensive eye cream, but with the sample I've really found that it does depuff my eyes, which is my main issue underneath my eyes. They are generally very puffy in the morning, and this really helps to reduce that, and it only takes a tiny little bit of cream to really work. So I decided that I'd buy the full size of that because I enjoyed the sample so much. And since I could get 20% off on it, that was the time to buy it. So that's on its way to me as well. But I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. I always love to see those. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I'd love for you to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.